Hello and welcome. I am Krista Gibson and this is Growing Older and Wiser. I figure, hey, if we've got to grow older, we may as well get wiser at the same time, right? So several times I have mentioned the concept of going back through our past and, healing, forgiving, absorbing, whatever we need to do. I've also encouraged people, write your autobiography for yourself. As a way to integrate your past. And also for, if you have children and grandchildren, you're a mystery to many of them in terms of your personal life, and how cool to write it down. And maybe once you're gone, if you don't want to share it while you're still alive, they can sit down and read it and really have a sense of who you were or who you are. Well, there's a whole other side to this that I've also talked about at times, although not so much here in this particular program. And I ran across a quote from Carlos Castaneda the other day that really says this well. And so I wanted to just talk about it with you briefly. I'm going to read the quote. He said, "One day I realized that I no longer needed a personal history. And just like drinking, I gave it up, and that, and only that, has made all the difference." So giving up his personal history. And I thought about it, and I thought, when we do healing, like if you do some inner child work or family of origin healing, which many of us have done, and perhaps are still doing, but one of the things that I found, because I did a lot of that once I have healed or incorporated a particular time period in my life, it's kind of like not important anymore. It only feels important when it's not been integrated or healed. And the more I thought about that, and the more I thought about what Carlos Castaneda wrote, I thought about it in terms of if you're in a boat, right? You're driving a boat. The wake is behind you. The wake is not in front of you. And the wake of a boat is our past. We're going this way. Behind us is we're leaving a wake. Can that wake drive the boat? No, it cannot. Can the wake change the direction of the boat? No, it cannot. What can the wake do? Nothing but sit there and be left in the ashes behind us as we proceed on. That's our past. It's the wake of the boat. Now, sometimes, as I said, it is important to jump into that wake, and figure out what's there, work with a counselor, work with a healer, whatever, and integrate those parts of yourself. Too often, one of the problems we have today is that too often people don't do that, and they allow their adult selves to be run by their child self that's been injured and damaged and abused. Somebody needs to go back there, us, and heal and take care of that child, part of ourselves, so we can integrate as an adult and move on and be functioning members of our society. But once we've done that, then it's time to just drive the boat and enjoy the view and enjoy moving forward. Enjoy that feeling of freedom that comes from not letting the wake distract you. Because again, let's use the analogy of driving a boat. So you're going along in this boat. If all you're concerned about is the wake, you're angry at the wake, or you resent the wake, or, gosh darn, I'm going to get that wake one day. You can't be putting your attention on what's in front of you. The beautiful mountains, the other side of the lake, further down the river if your boat's in the river. But when you let go of the wake and just say, yeah, it's there. It's not, I don't deny it. It's there, but it's in its proper place, which is behind me. I think it was Louise Hay the other way. And I know I mentioned this before, where she talks about when you drive a car, hopefully you don't drive along looking at the rearview mirror. You glance at it occasionally. You might want to see who's back there, or you're changing lanes or whatever. But you look through the windshield, not through the rearview mirror. If you drive down the street just looking through your rearview mirror, you're going to be in trouble before too long, because you're bound to hit something, and get yourself into trouble. So it's the same concept. It's like, yes, the rearview mirror is there. Yes, the traffic is behind you. It's okay to glance occasionally, but mostly look where you're going. And so the thought I'd like to leave with you today is the thought of your personal history. What does it mean to you? Have you integrated your personal history? Are there still owies there? Are there parts of your personal history that when you think of them, you feel a strong emotion of anger, sorrow, grief, whatever? Now, to be fair, nobody's saying you're not going to have feelings about your history or about your past. You're human. We're all human. And so, of course, I can think of some things in my past and there's still a little owie, but that's all it is. It's like a hiccup. It's like, oh yeah, and that's it. It's not like, oh my God, that was so horrible. How can I ever live? So this week, spend a little bit of time just glancing at your personal history and see if you have a lot of owies or any owies. And if you do, plan to do something about them, either with a minister, with a counselor, with a healer, massage therapist, body worker, whatever works for you, and heal the owies so you can look forward. You're not living in the wake. You can not living in the rearview mirror, that you can drive your car and your boat straight ahead and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful world that's just sitting there for you to enjoy as long as you aren't living in your wake. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and please leave a comment below. Share your thoughts about this or your experiences around it. I know I would love to know, and I know the other viewers would as well. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.